The desert wind moaned across the dying town of Willow Creek. A forgotten place swallowed by dust and sorrow. Wooden signs creaked, saloons stood half-empty, and tumbleweeds drifted through. Streets that once rang with laughter and gunfire alike. It was here, under a copper-red sunset, that a silent man rode in, a cowboy whose name folks barely remembered but whose eyes carried the weight of 1,000 storms. They called him Cole Maddox, the Silent Rider. He had no family, no friends, and no past he ever spoke of. His hat shadowed a face cut from stone, and his soul was stitched together with old pain and buried sins. The town didn't know what brought him back that evening, until they heard the crying. The sound cut through the wind. Fragile and broken, the cry of a child, or no, a young girl, coming from behind the old blacksmith's barn. Cole turned his horse's head, his heart clenching in ways he didn't understand. He'd heard screams before, on battlefields and in burning towns, but this one hit something deep inside him. Something human he thought had died long ago. He dismounted, boots hitting the dirt with a heavy thud, and pushed open the barn door. Inside, the smell of sweat and blood hit him hard. A man, big, mean, and red-eyed with whiskey, was raising his hand again. "Please, don't beat me, I'm already hurt," the girl cried, shielding herself with trembling arms. She couldn't have been more than 16. Her dress torn, her skin bruised, her eyes wide with terror. The man spat, snarling, "You worthless brat. You think you can hide from me?" He lifted his belt again, but it never fell. Cole's hand caught it midair, iron strong, and the drunk turned in surprise. Their eyes met, one filled with rage, the other with cold, deadly silence. "Who the hell are you?" the man barked. Cole didn't answer. He didn't need to. The way his jaw tightened said everything. With a single move, Cole wrenched the belt away and shoved the man back, hard enough that he stumbled into the haystack. "You touch her again," Cole said finally, his voice low, gravelly, like thunder before a storm, "and I'll bury you where no one will find you." The drunk laughed, until he saw Cole's revolver. Then he froze. "Why, you ain't the law," he stammered. Cole took a slow step forward, the shadows wrapping around him. "No," he said, "I'm worse." The man bolted, tripping over himself, disappearing into the night like a coward. Cole stood still for a moment, then turned to the girl. She was crying silently now, clutching her ribs. When he knelt beside her, she flinched away. Don't hurt me," she whispered. He shook his head, removing his hat, his voice gentler than it had been in years. "Ain't here to hurt you, kid. You safe now." Tears streaked her dirt-covered face as she looked at him, confused and afraid. "He was my stepfather," she murmured. "Said I had to work or he'd starve me again. I tried to run, but he caught me." Cole's jaw clenched. He'd seen too much cruelty in this world. But something about this girl's trembling words ripped him open. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lila," she said softly. "Lila Brooks." Cole stood and offered her his hand. "Come on, Lila. Let's get you out of here." She hesitated, then took it. Her hand was small, shaking. And for the first time in years, Cole felt something other than emptiness. As they stepped out into the fading sunlight, she squinted up at him. "Why'd you help me?" she asked. He didn't answer right away. The truth was, he didn't know. Maybe because she reminded him of his little sister, the one he couldn't save years ago when raiders burned their home. Maybe because he'd grown tired of watching good souls get crushed by evil men. Or maybe his heart, long frozen, had finally begun to thaw. They rode together through the dusk, the sound of hooves echoing across the plains. Lila, wrapped in a worn blanket, leaned against his back, whispering, "Thank you, mister." Cole only nodded. "You got someplace to go?" he asked. She shook her head. "Mama's gone. She died last winter. I got no one." Silence stretched between them, heavy as the night sky. Cole thought for a moment, then said, "There's an old widow. Miss Clara lives by the river. She's kind. She'll take you in. But when they reached the cabin, Clara came to the door coughing, looking frail and weak. Cole Maddox, she said, recognizing him. Ain't seen you in years. He tipped his hat. Got a girl here, needs a safe place. Clara looked at Lila. Then at him, and nodded sadly. You always were a protector, even when you said you weren't. Cole didn't stay. He never did. But as he rode off into the night, something felt different. He kept hearing Lila's voice, soft, scared, but strong enough to survive. He couldn't shake it. Days passed. Then a week. He tried to forget, but every time he closed his eyes, he saw that barn, heard her cry, "Please. Don't beat me, I'm already hurt." It haunted him like a ghost. And maybe that's why, when bandits raided Willow Creek, setting fire to the saloon and shooting anyone in sight, Cole turned back. He wasn't the law, but justice, real justice, burned inside him like wildfire. He fought through smoke and bullets, saving anyone he could. When he found Lila again, she was hiding behind Clara's cabin, clutching a rusty knife. "Cole!" she cried, running to him. He pulled her behind him, reloading his gun, his eyes fierce. "Stay low," he said. "I ain't lettin' anyone hurt you again." The fight was brutal. Men fell. The sky lit with fire. When it was over, Cole stood bleeding, hat gone, dust coating his face. He'd taken a bullet to the shoulder but stayed on his feet until the last bandit ran. The town was safe, but barely. Lila ran to him, tears streaming down her face. "You saved me again," she said, gripping his coat. Cole smiled faintly, the first real smile he'd shown in years. "Reckon I owed you that." He swayed, almost falling. But she caught him, whispering, "Don't die. Please, don't leave me." He looked at her with quiet eyes, filled with memories of everyone he'd lost. "I ain't going nowhere," he promised. The next morning, the sun rose over Willow Creek, burning gold over ashes and hope. Cole sat by the river, arm bandaged, Lila beside him feeding birds. The town was rebuilding. For the first time in forever, he felt peace. "You think you'll stay?" she asked. He thought for a moment, then nodded slowly. "Maybe. Maybe it's time I stopped running." Lila smiled, a smile so pure it could have melted the hardest heart. "I'm glad," she said. "You're like the daddy I never had." Cole turned away, blinking against the sunlight. He didn't say it, but in that moment, he made a silent vow, no more wandering, no more ghosts. From that day on, he'd protect what little good was left in this world. The silent cowboy's heart had awoken. And the lonely man had finally found something worth living for.